Assalamu alaikum, shalom, hotep, Islam, alafia. What is going on, family, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles, and cousins? So this is part 2 to the video commemorating a couple books that are out of stock. In my last prior video, I commemorated a book titled Black Woman in Antiquity. And I left off with the Moors of the first founder of Mali, Sundiata, having the power and influence, was the catalyst to the Moors going into Spain, conquering southern Europe. So now this book I'm going to highlight is Golden Age of the Moor, edited by Ivan Van Seritma. Alright, family, so I'm going to be reading from chapter The African Heritage and Ethno-History of the Moors on page 93, first paragraph. It states, most of us are not aware that the peoples whom the classical Greek and Roman historians called Berber were, in fact, black and affiliated with the then contemporary peoples of the East African area. The word Berber, in fact, was used to refer to the peoples of the Red Sea area in Africa, as well as North Africans, was called Berber. Similarly, there was an ancient belief that the nomads, nomad meaning people who travel from place to place. Where was I? Similarly, there was an ancient belief that the nomads dwelling in the same latitudes in the deserts of Arabia were peoples whose ancestors had in times far distant roamed the deserts of East Africa. It was such populations that in large measure comprised the Moorish people, but because of the attribute of blackness, which sharply distinguished them from the bulk of the European people, the word came to be generally used by Europeans to describe peoples of black complexion in general. Now, we just read what the word Berber meant, which was black. We're going to read what the word Moor meant. The fact that the term was originally intended to refer to a black or dark-skinned person, as they have shown, does not mean that everyone called a Moor is African or of African descent. I'm going to read that again. The fact that the term was generally intended to refer to a black or dark-skinned person, as they have shown, does not mean that everyone called a Moor is African or of African descent. The Arabs themselves rarely use the term Moor. They often use the term Berber, as we just explained, or as we just read what the term Berber meant. Okay, so the Arabs often use the term Berber for the non-Arabian people of Northwest Africa with whom they called in contact and who joined with them in the invasion of Europe. The early Christians also used the term Saracen indiscriminately to cover both the Moors as well as other Muslim populations in general. So family, this book goes deep into other definitions of the Moors. It definitely goes deep into the uniqueness and the innovativeness of the Moors civilizing southern Europe and bringing the Europeans out of the Dark Ages for hundreds of years. Okay, so this book definitely digs deep into how they civilized Europe, what innovations, if you will, they brought into Europe, as far as cooking, as far as house cleaning, as far as bathing, as far as dressing, as far as just a way of conduct, as far as domestically, um, um, domestically catering to animals, things of that nature. I mean, just a way of life, period. Just a way of life, period. Okay, this book here delves into that, and of course, we have other books that talks about Moors. This book, unfortunately, is out of stock. However, we do have other Moorish books that you can purchase that talks about the Moors in Africa, i.e. Introduction to African Civilization by John G. Jackson, with an introduction excuse me, by John Henrik Clarke. Okay, John Henrik Clarke. Okay, so that book again is Introduction to African Civilization. That book has specifically a chapter on the Moors, that you can get and that you can purchase on our website, www.dtr360books.com. Again, that's www.dtr360books.com. I'm going to drop the link below. You can also find the link if you're following us on Instagram at DTR360books with 2 underscores. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, hotep, Islam, peace, alafia.